I hope your day is full of ducklings and swans and penguins and puffins and platypus. Is platypi? Is platypus? It's not platypussies. That can't be right. It's got to be platypi. Or is platypus? What's the plural of platypus? Does anybody know? Happy Wednesday. It's a new episode of Shank. Guys, we have an amazing episode of Shank for you with the one, the only Gareth Reynolds. But before we get into this week's episode of Shank, there's just one thing I want to tell you about, and that's Oh Yeah socks. Oh yeah. Look down at your feet right now. Are you wearing socks? If not, ask yourself why not. Socks are essential. They protect one of your most precious assets, your toes, from the cold outside world. Cover them up. Put on a pair of cozy socks. Shop ohyeah.com. That's 3 O's HYEAH.com. Discount code Sara10. Whether you're into slippers or flamingos or donuts or aliens, there's a pair of socks for you. And then I'm going to be with Kim Congdon March 19th at Mic Drop Comedy. And make sure to subscribe to my Patreon. And let's get into this week's episode of Shank with the one, the only Gareth Reynolds. Everyone, here it is. Let's go. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Shank. I'm Sara Weinshenk, and today's guest is the one, the only Gareth Reynolds.
There's another, but thank you.
There are?
There's
multiple?
Yeah, there's the guy who got the at Gareth Reynolds Twitter handle. He's a Gareth Reynolds.
And how many followers does he have?
Way less.
3?
I mean, I don't know, 900 or something.
And you can't get it.
I always felt weird asking. So I just left it. We started like going back and forth. So I was like, all right, whatever.
Did you give him an offer?
No.
What do you mean you started going back and forth? I'd be like, hey, if I give you got to start low.
Well, he forwards me a lot of like, he'll be like, you mean this one? Like our relationship started as that. And then eventually we started going like, I'd be like, thank you. And then eventually he was like, so you're from England, you know? It was and then we started talking.
So now
and then on one episode of the Dollop, we just started like saying crazy shit. Like what if I fucked him? It was basically like that. And then I was like, I hope he doesn't ever hear that. And then like 2 years later, he's like, I listened to an episode. And I was like, oh, God. Yeah.
No.
And he like heard it. And I was like, yeah, I made it weird.
No.
Yeah.
But maybe he'll just give it to you. Maybe you could just ask him in like a nice way.
Is that
a big ask?
I mean, it probably isn't, but I feel now on Instagram, I'm also at Reynolds Gareth. So I'm like, then it would be like, I don't know.
Oh, so on Instagram and Twitter, it's the same.
Yeah, because I wanted it to be consistent.
I understand.
But I don't think he's on Instagram. So I've made a lot of poor decisions.
My Instagram handle's Princess Shank.
You ever think of changing it?
No, not anymore.
Yeah, because you kind of hit your wagon's hitched. Yeah.
I'm like, I hit my stride with Princess Shank. I don't know who I'm going to be if I'm not that.
Yeah. But you know when you're like trying to tag someone and you're like, you're trying to tag, you're like, what the hell is this? What's Andy's Twitter? And then it's just like, Dr. Carpet. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah. I think if I was doing it again, I would pick something memorable. Maybe just my actual name. Just something.
That's a good way to go.
I don't think there's that many Sara Weinshenks. I think I would have been fine.
Yeah. You didn't even try.
I don't even think I tried. I was like, I'm straight up Princess Shank.
Wow. You were ready to go.
I was ready.
You were like, I'm a Hollywood royalty. If I build it, they will come.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Yeah. See, I was like, I want my name. And I was like, damn this Welshman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think you can get it from him. I think you just slide in his DMs and be like, hey.
It's time. I've courted you for 7 years. I've played softball. You're not winning the Gareth Reynolds race, my friend.
Yeah. There's only one
Give
Gareth
it up.
Reynolds.
You lost, Jack. Give it up.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Wait, so you're British?
Yeah. I'm like both, but yeah.
Why do I feel like, okay, because you did my podcast a really long time ago.
Yeah.
Which I feel like, and maybe this is wrong and I'm mixing it up with somebody else, but if one of your parents work at a toy factory?
Yeah.
They did?
Well, both my parents sold toys, but yeah, my dad like actually was like at a actual toy facility.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember that.
It's
I'm
pretty
like,
good.
I think Gareth Reynolds, the only fact I know about him is that his parents work
English and toys.
English and toys.
What if you were thinking of the other Gareth Reynolds? No, that's the guy from Twitter. He won't shut up about it. Yeah, my dad worked for like he was like at a company that made wooden railway toys. Brio, it was called.
Oh, can we look that up? Wait, I feel like Brio was a thing.
Yeah, it was.
It was in like the nice toy stores.
Yeah, it was like totally like hoity-toity.
Yeah,
hoity-toity.
Oh yes.
Yeah, it was this stuff.
That's crazy. Did you have a lot of trains?
Oh my God, like all that you could handle.
Whoa, look at that.
That's not it though, is it?
No, but that's nice. That's not Brio.
Oh, this one's Brio.
Yeah.
We're just looking at trains.
Just
Yeah, there
I'm
it
on
is.
the spectrum suddenly.
Yeah, right.
Just looking at trains.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, that was hoity-toity wooden toys. For
Yeah, and they'll actually let the workers on that railway unionize, so that's nice.
I mean, that's a $363 train set.
That's crazy. I don't think.
What does it offer? What are you getting with that?
I mean, it's not enough. See, the ones when I was a kid where you didn't like, because this one has like tubes and people. It didn't have that. It was just tracks and trains. Yeah. But I would go crazy. I loved it. I would be like hours, and I had tons of it.
And they were so fun because there was this toy store by my house as a kid, and we used to go play with them.
Yeah, it was also in doctors' offices. Like when I was,
communal
when you were a kid,
toys were big.
Imagine that now.
Never.
Imagine going into a doctor's office and being like, "Yeah, go in a doctor's office. Go touch
like
the communal toys.
Snots coming out.
Get your hands all over it."
Yeah.
Yeah, horrible. But I would be over there like right away. It was either highlights, or it was go play with the mucus toys.
Yeah, mucus toys, highlights, and then some of them had. One of my doctor's office had a fish tank.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It's pretty like sad to look at fish in a fish tank in a doctor's office.
Yeah.
It's like there's just like sick people looking at sad fish.
Yeah. No, I feel like that about. Remember they had the like lobster vending machine in bars.
Yes.
I was like, this is like. Someone has to step in and stop this. This is like criminal.
And dude, yes, the imprisoned lobsters inside Ralph's too.
Yeah, but it would be like at the Saddle Ranch, or I mean, I don't think it was there.
Oh my God!
But it would be like a place like that, and you'd be like, so they just like die in like this claw machine. And you're like drunk patrons are like, let's go home and make. It's like, first of all, don't put the lobsters through that, but also don't eat Saddle Ranch shellfish.
Yes, Saddle Ranch
claw shellfish.
Dude, Saddle Ranch, I worked there. I'm haunted by it every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
What, server?
I was a hostess and I sold bull rides.
Yeah, right.
And they used to say, you should try the cobbler. It's like the reason I work here.
The cobbler? What, the pie?
Yeah.
That's not what I imagine.
I had never
I can't believe there's a cobbler person. Like a shot girl, but with pie?
Yeah, it's all about upsells. So they
Y'all
feel
want
like,
pie?
They're like, you should try something like you should try the cobbler.
Why don't you eat a piece of pie and get on the bull?
Yeah.
Why don't you ride the bull and eat a piece of pie?
Yeah, that's what it was.
What a mixture.
Yeah, that's what it was.
The first time I visited LA, I must have been 21 or something. My buddy was out here, and we were like young, obviously. So we went to the Strip and we went to the Saddle Ranch. And I was totally like, oh my God, like look at all the beautiful women and all this shit. And so we got drunk and I was like, I'm going to ride the bull, and rode the bull and had no thought or experience into how to do it. This is before I knew that it was all legs, which now I would know.
Yeah.
But I was going all hand.
You live and you learn.
Yeah, you learn. I'm older now. I know it's legs.
Yeah.
But I was going hand.
Okay.
And it like flipped me horrendously. My friends were like laughing their ass off, but it flipped me. And then, but my hand was killing me. And my hand, like, I broke a bone in my hand. And
at the Saddle Ranch?
Yeah. Because I was going all hand, which is a great policy in Hollywood normally. But, and my hand started like Mickey Mouse out a little bit. And it got real big. And then one of the owners or managers came over and he was like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, not good. Like everyone knew, like, because people were like, Jesus Christ. And And then he just bought 2 rounds of shots. And I was like, he's a good guy.
Yeah, that's what they do.
I was like, he's a good guy. But in reality, like, I had no health care. So
he's like, and he made you sign the waiver.
Yeah, signed the waiver and got like 4 lemon drops out of it. And I was like, that guy's good shit.
No, yeah, that's what he would do.
Yeah.
They would go, you know what, we don't have any tables right now, but let me get you a round of shots on me.
Yeah, and it was like lemon drops.
Yes,
Which
and
are
then that
just
was
like,
always what they would do there,
but
too.
I felt I was like, man, this is good shit. This guy's cool.
Yeah.
I'm in LA getting free shots.
Lemon drops.
Yeah, it's not Jameson.
With a swollen hand.
With a swollen hand. With a broken hand.
The broken hand from the bull.
From the bull.
Like, let's just give him alcohol. It's fine.
Yeah, and I was like, that's enough. I was like, I'm not, why would I pursue this any further? You've given me 4 lemon drops, sir.
Saddle Ranch? Okay, when I worked there, when I went to get a job there, we had to bring headshots.
Interesting.
Of course.
And you had those?
Of course.
How old were you when you...
I was ready, baby, for Hollywood, Gareth. I was taking LA by storm,
How
sweetheart.
old were you when this happened?
19.
And where were you from?
LA.
Oh, okay. So that makes more sense to have headshots. Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 19, you go there with your headshots.
I go there with my headshots.
I'd like to audition to work in a restaurant.
Yeah, here are my headshots.
Here's my headshot to work to be a hostess.
Yeah.
And can you read from the script about do you want cobbler with your bull ride?
They'd be like, Sarah, come here. Repeat the greeting to us.
Which was,
hey, how you guys doing? You hungry? You ready for some great steaks? I'm Sarah. Follow me. Let me get you a round of shots on me.
That happened?
Yeah.
This is getting worse and worse for my hand.
A round of shots.
I really thought I was kind of special.
No, they would always do lemon drops. Yes.
Yeah. Because it was just like sweet. It was just like the lemon mix. And then
I'm sorry that I'm telling you about the inside
I need to
world
hear this.
of
No. This is good. I need this. This is good.
Saddle Ranch.
I used to be a host, and my favorite, the weirdest part is the conversation from stand to table where you got to like fill 30 seconds of like small chat and then end it too.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck with the cancer, or whatever. You'd be like, take care, or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was always the weirdest.
Yeah. Like
How long did you work there?
A summer.
Okay. So didn't.
But I would make a lot of cash. I remember
As a hostess?
Yeah, because it was like
got cobbler.
It was 2000 and some. It was like things were good at this time.
Right.
It was a different time.
Yeah.
I would like leave with like $600 cash from being a hostess.
Fuck. What?
Yeah, and then I go buy designer jeans.
Who's tipping you? Who's tipping you? Are you just getting tipped out?
Drunk men.
Drunk
I'm
men.
like,
would
you want to
just,
buy a bull ride?
And they'd be like, yeah, just $100.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is pretty good.
It was crazy. It was fun. It was fun and crazy. But then it was also like the place to be. Like people from the real world would come hang out there.
That to
me was like
was
a big deal. And then like I remember like Matthew Perry, like a
of course.
sad shadow of Matthew Perry would sometimes come in.
Yeah.
So dark.
The Perry shadow.
The Perry shadow.
Yeah. It'd be like, he lives in the corners.
Yeah.
Don't give him lemon drops.
Don't give him lemon drops.
Leave him be. He's like the Phantom of the Opera. He's just in like the corners of the Saddle Ranch, just like
so dark. So dark.
So no one told me life was going to be this way. Matthew, get down from there. Yeah. I on that first trip to LA, because I also like would be starstruck by real world people. Like I mean, I remember being like, I was like, this is crazy. But my friend and I
starstruck by real world people.
Yeah, I'd be like,
same.
whoa. And
I would feel like I knew them more than other celebrities.
But then I would also, even when I first got here, like, and I lived here for a while, I mean, you'd be like, they'd be like working regular jobs, and you'd be like, wow, that's fucking crazy that like this person who I'm like, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Is now like helping me at like a mall or something.
Right.
But when I first moved here, my buddy and I were like, we're going to go find a celebrity.
Okay.
And so we were like, let's just drive around. Cause I mean, it's just, it changes the longer you live here where it becomes so much more normalized. But at first you're like, the idea of a famous person is insane. Cause I'm from like Wisconsin and I,
right.
It would be like, I remember in college once I saw Dennis Leary like somewhere and I was like, my brain couldn't process the reality.
Right.
And so we went driving around and we were like, well, let's go to Rodeo Drive. Like that's like Beverly Hills, we'll see a celebrity. And we were driving around and my buddy goes, Tom Arnold. And I was like, holy shit. And so it was, we had the little windy cameras. And we pull over and Tom Arnold's like window shopping with like his wife or whatever.
No.
Yeah. And we go up and I'm like, I just feel awkward, but I'm like, hey, Tom. Yeah, because it wasn't like we were walking down the street.
Right,
like he saw us like a, like a cop, like with us, like someone on the top of a building.
Right.
Stop and get out.
Right.
And we kind of rush him. And then I'm like, can I get a picture? And he was like, yeah. He was definitely like not into it. And the whole thing, he was not into it. And somehow in the picture, he looked into it. When we got it, we were like, wow, he's really good at being famous. Because in the picture, he was like, hey, buddy. But every other moment of it, he's like, let's go.
That's so crazy.
Yeah.
Tom Arnold was your first sighting.
We found him. We were like, let's go in the wild. I mean, it was like someone being like, let's go find a gorilla.
Tom Arnold.
And we found, we were literally found one.
One of the weirder people that I saw out one night was I went out to a club and we get there and there's just like Dennis Quaid dancing on a table with a bottle.
A bottle of booze?
Yeah.
What year is this?
This is like 2009.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good
That
Quaid
checks
era.
out.
Well, I mean, I could see him doing that. Now it would be strange.
Now it would be strange.
Yeah, but I could see that.
But it is a weird sighting because I'm like, Dennis Quaid?
It's better than Randy.
Randy Quaid?
Yeah, that would be.
I don't know much about Randy Quaid.
Oof, he's having a time.
What's his deal?
Let's, you remember Randy Quaid? You remember what he looks like?
No.
You don't?
I don't know.
You know Christmas Vacation? He's the cousin.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's changed a little bit. There you go. That's him.
No.
There you go. Yeah, now he's Santa.
No.
Now he's Murder Santa.
No.
Yep. But him and his
I
wife are
remember
into
that
some
movie.
crazy shit. I actually.
What do you mean they're into some crazy
I mean,
shit?
it kind of looks like if Pierce Morgan just stopped.
gave up?
Yeah, just completely quit.
gave up.
I don't remember exactly, so I don't want to misspeak, but I think he and his wife got into drugs. I think he lives in Canada, and it's
Not the good drugs, I could tell.
yeah,
Not the good drugs.
No, the kind that it looks like he
dangerous
smokes
drugs.
the Santa Claus.
Yeah.
But I think they're into some crazy conspiratorial shit.
What do you mean, like Q?
I think it's Q.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Smoke a little meth.
Smoke
talk a little Q.
Yeah, smoke a little meth.
Talk a little
chat
Q.
have a little Q chat. Yeah, they're cuties.
They are.
They posted sex tapes. Post disturbing sex tapes. If Randy Quaid's in a sex tape, you don't need to tell me it's disturbing.
Yeah, it's assumed.
That's part of the deal.
But also, like, imagine being Randy Quaid being like, yeah, let's film it.
Let's film
I'm
it.
going to need to see this.
Or filming it and then being like, let's post it.
Yeah.
Let's get this up there.
Yeah.
Let's get it to YouPorn.
Like, that's his Kim K moment.
Yeah, right. And not nearly enough success came out of it.
No.
He was already somebody.
That's so sad. Releasing a sex tape and nobody cares.
And it bombs.
And it bombs. If your sex tape bombs,
yeah, if people are like,
it's dark.
that's bad. That's why I won't release it.
No.
Never.
No. If your sex tape leaks and it bombs.
Ugh, sex tape leak is even kind of a gross term. Yeah. Now that I think about it. This is my leaky sex tape.
This is it leaked.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh dear, my sex tape leaked.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. How? Oh no. What are the odds?
It's also like a tape. I don't know. Like
Yeah,
there used
tape's
to be a
weird.
time when people would have sex on videotape.
There's still people who will say, I videotaped it. Like, that's like the circle I am in still, where I'm like, we need to get over, there's no tape in our phones.
Right,
But people will be
right.
like, I videotaped your show.
Yeah.
You'll be like, no, there's no tape anymore.
Yeah.
You filmed.
You filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes, okay, now the phones, sorry to be a grandma about
Let's
this.
go.
The phones now, sometimes I fucking record on my phone and it looks better than the cameras in the clubs.
No, I know. It's a bummer because I bring a whole setup and I'm like, this weekend, the guy who was opening for me, I was like, he just had his phone. I was like, just so much easier. Yeah. And the clips look good.
And the clips look good.
Yeah. No, they've really outdone themselves.
They've really,
those fuckers.
those iPhone people.
Yeah.
Mr. Apple.
Yeah,
Has done it
Tim
again.
Apple.
Tim Apple.
Bastard.
So you've been on the road a lot?
Yeah, I took I did my special in September.
What's your special called?
England, Weed, and the Rest.
is it? Where can people find it?
You can go to my website on YouTube. You can go to my website, GarethReynolds.com. There's a little special link. So I recorded that in September. Then I did like maybe 3 weeks of my podcast touring, something like that. And then I was like home for like 2.5 months. And then I just went back out for the first time like 2 weeks ago. And then, and then I'm starting out like crazy for the rest of the year.
So when you're home, are you writing? What's your vibe?
Yeah.
What's like the Gareth Reynolds vibe day to day?
I mean,
like.
Well, I was writing on a show for a while.
Cool.
That comes out in April. So like, I was doing that at home. So it was like, I had a good balance of like being able to just do that. But like,
were you writing on Zoom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a Zoom room. So it was great, which is the best. And I don't know. I mean, when I'm home and I have nothing to do, it's not like if I could do whatever it is, I mean, it's just I'll hang out in bed with my cat for like a good hour, have a coffee, have a little food.
Are you a bed person?
No, but when I get the opportunity to like if I can spend if I can spend a day in bed,
ideal.
That would be fine.
I always keep the bed like the option of the bed is always on the table. Like some people, they make the bed and then they don't fuck with the bed until nighttime.
Yeah, that's what I do.
For me, I go in and out.
That's nice. So you won't even make the bed because you're like, we don't know if this chapter's over yet.
I keep it all open-ended. I make it.
And then will you make it before you, like if you don't go back in before bed, will you make it and get in? Or are you like,
up.
Right, yeah, you got to do it tidy.
Yeah.
Kind of sad sometimes when you're just like, look at this.
But it's just been sloppy all day. You have to like trick yourself into thinking you're kind of together.
Yeah. But then when they're the day, like maybe you're sick or maybe you're hungover or you're just like tired from like whatever work when like, everything's happening. Like when those days happen where I'm like, meals will be consumed in the bed. We're going to watch the season of Last Chance U today. My cat will be like, we should be designing our lives in this direction more often.
Right.
Yeah. Where it's like, I'll get up to pee and he'll be like, bah, bah, bah. And I'm like, no, it's just bowel stuff. Don't worry about it.
I know, like meals in the bed. Okay. There's something luxurious about it to me.
It's disastrous, but awesome.
But if someone else was having meals in
Gross
my bed.
pig, get out.
Right. But if I'm having meals in my bed.
I'm a princess. I deserve this treatment.
Yes. But if another person.
Get out. You don't belong in the society we've carved.
You fucking pig.
Dirty person, leave.
Leave.
But I think hotels condition, like the hotel living.
Right.
Leads you to a lot of like bed hangs where it's like, because it's not like, they'll throw a couch in the room sometimes, but it's like, I've never been like, I'll have a sit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're never like, I'll be at the table for a while.
And like the couch, I don't trust the couch.
I don't trust the couch. The bed I have a little bit of faith in, but the couch, absolutely not.
Well, because you can like change the sheets.
Yeah, they're not like, there's nobody who's...
There's cum crusted into the hotel
without
couch.
question. It's poop. It's not good. Yeah. Yeah.
Fecal matter.
Completely. There's no...
I just wanted to say fecal matter.
That's great.
Thank you.
Well, I think we expect too much from the maids. I think like you can't expect them to also give the couch a once over because if it looks okay, they're not.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, hey, fuck everyone.
Yeah, I was at a Hampton Inn and they made Hampton Inn where they put like
you just pick up that name you just dropped.
Yeah, no, things are good, but they like mix their eggs with like powdered egg. Like that's not a great spot. I'm not saying it's like terrible, but it's not a great. But they made the maids do towel swans.
No.
Yes. And like 4 of them. Where I was like, let them go home. You're the Hampton Inn.
They're doing
your place.
Origami towel swans.
And the little fridge, like something had, like someone left milk in it or something. So I was like, focus your attention on like getting the dead body smell out of the fridge
instead of
making them fold fucking towel swans.
But do you think there's
the
like
toilet
a tutorial?
Triangles. Look, whoever's in charge over there
at the Hampton Inn.
At that Hampton Inn in like, I think it was in Nashville or something, or like just outside. Like it would like if Bar Rescue came in, they would be like, you need to focus in on what matters at this place. Stop putting powder in your eggs. The time you make them do towel swans, give them their life back or put it towards something else. Yeah. Yeah, which is
but like
pointless.
Someone there is passionate about it, though. They're like, it's the little detail that matters.
Yeah, but it's one of those managers who's like got no clue what they're doing and like force it. You know what I mean? Like everyone's like rolling their eyes, like, you mean Chad?
Yeah.
Fucking idiot. He's like, not to be a nitpicker, but you didn't make all the towels. A couple of towels were on the rack that we said we were going to start swanning. So I just want to make sure that, you know, we just are all on the same page. Just because when people come to this Hampton Inn just outside of Nashville adjacent, they do expect the top of the line swan towel situation. So
Swanning.
Yeah. Swanning the towels.
Swanning the towel.
Nightmare.
That is a nightmare.
Yes. Let them go home.
Let them go.
Let them live.
The sheets aren't clean, but the towels.
Sheets aren't clean, but we've got Swan. The second you use it, that's over.
And it's so decadent.
It's just not at the Hampton Inn. Hampton Inn.
I know. That's bad.
Bad.
That is bad.
Yeah. It's the person who's like, management's going to notice us.
Are you a room key loser? Do you lose your room keys?
I've gotten pretty good about it.
I'm a nightmare. And sometimes, you know, when you like, they touch your phone and then they get deactivated.
That's what I hate. When you go to the front desk and they don't work and they're like, did you put it near your phone or credit cards? You're like, do you mean my pocket? Yeah, I put it in my pocket.
Yeah.
I didn't turn it into like a laminate that I wore around my neck like a child internationally traveling alone for the first time.
Yes. And it's like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Of course I touched it to my phone.
Yeah. And they're like, well, that'll do it every time. Well, maybe you guys need to start figuring out a better system than the magnetized version or something.
It is. It's true. It's fucking true. Okay, so if you're on the road.
I forget my room. If I'm traveling a lot,
take a photo of my room.
I keep the little. I keep it in the little cardboard.
Paper?
Yeah, because I'll be like, I've literally tried to walk into the wrong room. I've tried to charge things to a room that doesn't exist. Just forget all. I've gone to the front desk and been like, where do I live?
Yeah.
In your place.
I take a photo of it.
Smart.
And then I try to make like a rhyme.
Yeah.
Which is mentally ill.
Yeah. What's like what? Near heaven, room 107.
Yeah.
Right.
So stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll never forget now.
But then the real bastard is it's like, because I do that with my parking spot at like LAX or whatever. I'll take a picture of my spot.
Yeah.
But then I'll be like, because I took a picture, I'm more focused and kind of remember now.
Yes.
So it's like the making sure almost locks it in itself.
Right.
But yeah, I do you let the maid in?
What when
you're in the hotel? Like, let's say you're in the hotel for 3 nights.
3 nights. It depends on my vibe. It depends on how much I've been living in this hotel.
Maid's not coming in the whole time I'm there.
Really?
Yeah.
They're
getting tipped every night for their understanding that when they come in, a grown man will have
3 nights worth of
Apocalypse
living.
Now'd Martin Sheen at the beginning for 3 days.
Right.
And they will be compensated for this.
Right.
But I like to leave it be.
You don't like ins and outs?
I don't need it. I don't
want someone in your stuff. Like, what's your vibe with that?
I think it's just that I don't need it. And so I'm like...
he's a minimalist.
Yeah, I don't need it. I don't need the towels reswanned. So that I don't need them in there.
I do like that it's like a fresh start.
Yeah.
Like with each day. Like, I do like the idea of coming in and it's like, it's a fresh start.
I get it.
And I didn't have to reset the room.
I get it. But I don't like the timing out of it. Like, when am I going to be gone? That timing, I don't, it's like...
It's always...
I don't like being in there when I feel like I'm violating some sort of code if I'm like, do you mind if I just sit here while you do this in front? Like, it's almost like I fetishized it.
Yeah. You're like a cleaning
Will you make it slower? Slow down. I want to know how you towel the swans or swan the towels. But yeah, no, I pretty much I try to just be like, I'm in there just...
Yeah, I get what you mean. It is weird to watch somebody clean.
And because
then it's like they assume that you're like, you don't trust them, but you don't want them to think that you don't trust them. But you're like, I just don't have anywhere else to go because this is my room. This is the only space that I have.
And it's like, who wants to be watched by like a regular person when you're like doing your, you know what I mean? It's like, well, I guess stand-up is basically that, but like other jobs I've worked, I would never, I'd be like, just look away. Like I remember one time when I was working, when I was painting houses, there was, in West Hollywood, this woman who literally would watch me paint her house, and she would be behind me, and she'd be like, I can sort of see that, and I'd be like, yeah, no, this is a whole process. This will not be, when it's done, give me your notes. In the meantime, fucking go into another room.
She would stand and watch you paint.
She would watch, and she was this Jewish woman, and she had the mezuzahs.
Of course she was.
She was not saying anything.
I'm a Jew, I could say it.
I love a Jew. But she had the mezuzahs. Uh-huh. She was like 85 years old, and she had the mezuzahs, and I was painting like tons of, like the doorways, everything. And she was like, no, you can't take down the mezuzahs. And I'd be like, okay. And then it was like, she wanted to do it. She couldn't physically do it. She couldn't like reach them. She insisted that another Jewish person did it.
No.
Yes. And so like after like 3 days, I was like, I think her name was Toby, or I was like, Toby, like,
listen,
I gotta paint the door frames now. Like, what's the mezuzah deal? And she was just like, okay, you can do it. And I was like, well, why did we belabor this if I could remove the mezuzahs the whole time? And then I did. I took the mezuzahs down while she
Good
watched.
for you.
Like I was playing Operation in a doorway. I was like, Jesus. She was like, careful, don't bend. I was like, oh my God.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were painting houses.
Yeah.
How was that? Like, were you in doing other building stuff, or?
Yeah, I mean, at that time I was like working, pretty much like in construction, like on houses, like, demolition and then remodeling.
Was the demolition fun?
The best.
Do you just get to go like fuck
Exhausting,
shit up?
but yeah, it was like the best. I mean, this is before they made whatever those break rooms and stuff where you can just go smash it. Like that was what it really could be. Like if you were doing a kitchen, they'd be like, yeah, cabinets, tiles, everything has to go. And when it comes to like ripping down cabinets, like, yeah, you would like, it would be you and like 2 other people.
Was it fun?
Yeah, it was. It was like it was tiring, and then you had to like get everything out, which was annoying. But like the actual like beat, like you would just take a hammer and a pry bar, and you would just like hammer down doors.
Would you like get some anger out this way?
Yes, it was great. I was in my 20s, like I
Lots
could physically,
of anger.
well, yeah, and I could physically like, now if I were to do it, I'd be like, my shoulder, it'd be a much different experience. But I was like, you'd be ripping shit down constantly. And yeah, it was like a very like therapeutic, like insane situation. It'd be like maybe another guy or, maybe like 2 other dudes, and we would just be like shredding a kitchen. And then you slowly get it out.
It would be fun.
It was great. And then the cleanup sucked, and then
what
all
are you
that.
doing? Shredding the kitchen.
Yeah, we got to go shred it. Yeah,
Man stuff.
You'd eat Carl's Jr. and then you'd do it again. And
oh, hell
like,
yeah.
Yeah, it was great. Tiring, but great.
Carl's Jr. If you're on the road, what's your go-to fast food?
I don't eat I don't eat meat. So
are you vegan?
No.
Vegetarian?
Yeah, because of the road, I switched to vegetarian because it became impossible. But my number one is Del Taco because they have great Beyond Beef fake meat tacos.
Okay.
And number 2 is I hate Taco Bell.
Okay.
And somehow the bean and cheese hard shell taco
gets you.
Has gotten me.
The Baja Blast. Have you had this?
That's the drink.
It's like a Mountain Dew drink.
Yeah, from the Taco Bell?
From the Taco Bell. That's my...
What is in it?
I don't know, but it gives you lots of energy. If I was going to demolish a kitchen, I'd chug a Baja Blast first.
So we're just repainting it. You're like,
yeah.
Yeah. No, I've seen it. It's like 8 different colors.
It's nothing good.
Yeah, there's nothing good
like
in any of the
yellow 5 in it.
Yeah, there's nothing good in.
Doesn't that kill sperm?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just drink this Mountain Dew, honey. I can't afford birth control.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't mind killing sperm. I remember when people said like smoking seeds like killed sperm. I was like, I'm not going to push back on smoking seeds. Back in the day when you used to have to worry about that.
Mountain Dew does not kill sperm.
Oh, damn.
Damn.
That's a bummer.
Caffeine and yellow dye 5.
But there's so many drinks.
With dyes?
Yeah, in the States that are like illegal in other countries.
I know. Like anything that's like bright red or yellow.
Yeah, like Gatorade is not like, most countries don't have Gatorade.
Anything that looks fun is bad for you.
And here we're like, fuck it, freedom.
Yeah.
Drink it.
Yeah. If it looks like Fabuloso, but it's also... It's in a cup.
Just put a straw in a Fabuloso.
See, that's like...
It's party.
The U.S., baby. It's fine here.
Yeah. We just... Well, yeah, like we were saying before with like Ohio. It's like, there's like a chemical explosion in Ohio and everyone is just like, boy, I mean, did you see that call at the end of the Chiefs game? And you're like, people in Ohio, their dogs are dead. And you're just like, gosh, these balloons.
I know.
Finally.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
And then, like, okay, what's happening with the eggs? Are they still expensive? Are we still having an egg crisis, an egg shortage?
I don't know.
Every time I go, there's eggs. There's an avian flu.
Yeah.
Am I supposed to be worried about that?
Yeah, I mean, potentially. But I also think that the companies just do so much. You can't even tell anymore what is real because they just lie and say that
supply chain.
It's
actually supply chain.
It is supply chain, and they just keep saying
they just keep saying it,
and they just keep changing it, and then there's no like actual enforcement from the government.
And everyone goes, it's just supply chain. Ever since COVID, everything's supply chain.
Yeah. Well, you know what I was thinking the other day too is like the airlines are the fucking worst. I mean, like I try to fly as little as possible now because it's like the worst, but every time there's like a crisis, they just charge more. Just like after 9/11, they stopped food that was free and they started charging for bags. And then like after like COVID, they started like there were more fees. Like every time there's a crisis, they get a bailout. And then they go like, no, God, no, you don't get food. And you're like, what does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
They just pretend. They
strip away our amenities, these airports.
Yeah, I hate it. Like, I really like, every time I fly, it's horrible. I hate it.
It is horrible.
It's the worst.
And I always get a middle seat.
I do everything I can to
avoid.
Yes, I'll even pay. I'll even pay like this, like because you'll go to pick and you'll be like, "Oh, cool," and it'll be like, "Go." So you want $65 to have an aisle, and you're like, "What the? There's like a middle seat fee."
I know. Now if you want to sit in an aisle, you have to pay more. It's ridiculous.
You know what I'm going to start doing is being like sitting in the middle seat and being really creepy to the other people so that I'm on a list where it's like he can't middle seat because he like does elbow stuff.
But what if you just get on a list and
then I can't like sit anywhere.
They're still seating you in the middle, but you're on like a watch list.
That's fine. I will escalate it until they're like, give him aisles.
And then
cannot be
just
in the middle.
blame the other Gareth Reynolds.
Yeah. I'd be like, it's this other guy. It's this Welsh dude.
Other guy.
It wasn't me. As I'm getting dragged off the plane. I'm Reynolds Gareth. You got the wrong guy.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. No, I would do anything to avoid it.
Did your mom work at a toy store too?
She was a sales rep. So she
the trains?
No, not. She did others. She I don't know. I guess it must have been like through my father's work, but she basically became a sales rep. So she would go on the road and go to different stores and try to sell them on different lines of product.
Like, you interested in these trains?
Yeah.
Like that?
No,
like kids' toys?
Well, yeah. She would go with like whatever. She did like a lot of like, what were the dolls called? She had these dolls. I can't remember what they're called. But like these French line of dolls, and then tons of stuff. But then she had koosh balls. She got like koosh balls early.
Yeah.
And like, so she had koosh, and then that was and again, like you're saying, like when you're talking about like how you were getting 600, like this was like whatever, the 90s or like late 80s, 90s. So my mother, people were like, fuck it, we'll buy it. Like, so things were good. I had my two toy parents who like, carved out a nice middle class living. Yeah.
Remember Rosie O'Donnell used to give out koosh
she used
balls?
to flick them, yeah.
Can we see if we can find that clip?
I'm sure you can.
I need to see that. It's going to take me back to a certain time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was before she was an open lesbian. She would pretend like she had a crush on
Tom Cruise.
On Tom Cruise.
And then he came on once and she was like, I'm so nervous. And I was like, Rosie, no, you're not. Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah. But that must have also been like, that says so much about that time where she had to like pretend. Oh, I thought like the algorithm was like, you mean Kelly Clarkson? Yeah. Rosie O'Donnell and Kelly Clarkson are the same. But like, it says so much about the time that like she had to have a fake crush to seem like
accessible.
So middle America or whoever would be like,
that's got to be Tom Cruise.
Well, I'll watch her 3 p.m. show as long as she's not a lesbian.
Yeah,
that's fine. She likes Tom Cruise. By the way, liking Tom Cruise, who also maybe is gay.
Yeah, who's a gay Scientologist.
Yeah, who's a gay Scientologist. So she's just being like, yeah, Tom.
This is not as exciting as I thought it was going to be.
No,
it's
you're
just
talking
Rosie
about, like,
and Kelly.
you're talking about, like,
I'm talking
the
90s
Rosie O'Donnell
Rosie.
show.
I want to find some like classic kooshball moments of Rosie
Yeah,
O'Donnell.
I did, but
Classic Rosie Cushion.
it's nice to see that she's still closing with the Koosh stuff.
She's really, yeah. She's really running with it.
Yeah.
Years later.
I remember that is such a weird, like,
Thing.
well, just that era. Like, thinking back to that time of TV. Because I was probably in high school. So how old are
She had
you?
Rosie O'Donnell's
Look at her.
Koosh balls.
That is so weird.
It is so weird looking at a young Rosie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just remember being like, I want this job that Rosie O'Donnell has, where you
Yeah.
just get to like throw toys.
Pretend
at
you
people.
like Tom Cruise and toss toys into a crowd.
Yeah. Like I was like, okay.
There it is. There she is with Tom, and he's like,
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ. Look at him. What
That
a
is-
time.
That is crazy. I became friends with this guy who was the Tom Cruise impersonator. And I tried to set up my friend on a date.
In what capacity? Professionally?
He was, professional Tom Cruise
So
impersonator.
he would go to functions as Tom Cruise.
He would go to functions as Tom Cruise.
Wow.
And by friend, I mean like loose associate.
Right, sure.
And so my friend, I didn't tell her, I was like, hey, there's this guy I want you to meet. And I didn't tell her, like, he's a Tom Cruise impersonator because I thought that would be like a...
Did you want to set her up?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And she's like, it's kind of like a big piece of information to
Yeah.
leave out that he's a Tom Cruise
It is.
impersonator.
It's strange for her to be like, why does he act like Tom Cruise? You're like, oh, that's his job.
By the way, because I didn't want to be like, he's a Tom Cruise impersonator, because that would be, I knew that she'd be like, nah.
So you were like, I want her to say non-person.
Yeah, I want her to have the experience. Maybe they'll have a connection.
Right, for
But
sure.
then I was like, yeah, if someone surprised me with an impersonator,
Yeah.
I'd be out.
Yeah. If someone was just like, by the way, on the weekends, he's
the
Lou
best.
Diamond Phillips.
He's the best.
He's the best.
The best.
He's the best.
Closest to Tom you're ever gonna get.
He's great. And he's not like a crazy Tom. So it's all that Tom good looks without all that Tom pressure to live in a house and not look at him and follow all those weird.
Exactly.
He doesn't think you have phaetons in your tummy and stuff like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
That I used to do kids' birthday parties on the weekends.
You did?
Yeah.
As what?
Tom Cruise. It
No.
didn't go great.
No.
No, like as as like
Spider-Man?
Yeah, Spider-Man, Batman.
No.
Yeah. So that was like one of those.
Spider-Man and Batman?
Yeah, oh yeah. Anything,
else?
Everything. Name it. Scooby-Doo.
You did?
Yeah.
With a mask?
Well, I would hope.
Well, I don't know.
How you doing? I'm
They
Scooby.
just
Scooby-Doo.
Put ears on you and that's it.
Hello, everybody. A dog fucked a man. Here I am.
Okay, so it'd be like Scooby-Doo. You would be a Scooby-Doo guy at birthday parties?
I'd be
What about, like,
Shaggy.
no.
Yeah, literally anything. Like the Hulk, Transformers.
That sounds actually kind of fun.
It was hell on earth.
It was?
Yeah.
Because kids are coming up to you, pulling you.
That part sucked, and then it's just like, I mean, if you think about like my life was like
It's dark.
driving from place to place with like a car full of costumes, and then I'd have to go in there and be like, start the party by being like, all right, what's going on, and then like have like hula
You
hoops.
have to cold open a children's birthday party.
There are a lot of times where like if there are people in a crowd who are getting rowdy and stuff, I will be like, I've had rooms more out of control than like 4 drunk people at a show. Like, cause I've had like kids want to kill me, or like
What do
lost
you mean?
control.
Because they think you're a bad guy?
No, cause it's like, don't you remember when you were a kid? Like maybe you weren't like me, but like when I used to go to Chuck E. Cheese, like my mission was to like, pull the tail and push the man inside and make the man inside's life very difficult.
Yeah, well, when I had a birthday party, we had the Easter Bunny come, and my cousin...
I did Easter bunnies.
My cousin tried to strip the Easter Bunny of her costume,
That
and there was
happened.
this naked lady in there screaming, and it ruined my birthday party. She was like, stop! And she was...
Why did you have the Easter bunny at your birthday party? You're an Easter kid?
Because my birthday was in April.
Okay,
And
yeah.
this year was on Easter.
Yeah,
so
right.
It was,
That
we're getting the
happens.
Easter Bunny.
They were like, we're combined? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then my cousin got her naked, and she was screaming, and it was like...
that would happen. Where
She
like
was like,
kids,
"Stop,
yeah, they would try to knock
I was
they would
like,
try to knock
oh
the
my
head
God,
off. Yeah.
Yes.
When I would do Easter bunnies, I made the choice that the Easter bunny didn't talk, and that
Was that hard?
it was hard, but it made it better. Because then I didn't like have, but I think every year for like 4 years on Easter, I went to this fancy country club.
How
and like,
long did you do this for?
On and off for like, must have been like 6 or 7 years. I took a break. So I like started to get like, my writing partner and I sold a pilot, and then I think sold another pilot. So I had like 2 years where I was like, working on stuff. And then that money started to kind of dry up, and I was going, oh my God, no.
It's bunny time.
Yeah, I was like, am I going to have to make that call?
No.
Then I went back. I guess I'd worked construction and parties at the same time, but I started with I started doing construction again first, because I was like, that'll be it. And then I was like, I needed money real bad. I was like, mother of God.
I'll be a bunny.
And then I had to like make the call to be like, I'm ready to start doing parties.
Which
again.
one's more exhausting, construction or bunnying? Construction.
Yeah, that was like more physically taxing, but I still enjoyed that more, because that would be like more project based, where it'd be like, okay, you have like, 3 days and you're working in this bathroom or something like that. Whereas the parties, it's hard to explain, but at first I really liked it. Like, I remember my first party, I was Dumbledore. And I was like, that was fun. I was like, that I could do it. And I was making like, eventually I was making $10 more, but at first I think I started at $50 or $55 an hour.
Okay.
So like for a party, I get 55. On a weekend, I could do like 6 or 7, 8 sometimes. And so, like pretty good money for like, starting out.
Right.
And then, but as far as like the actual experience, it just became like so, like it was like, I always thought of the Bill Hicks joke where he goes, he'd open his show and he'd just go, let me see if I can get through this shit one more time with a smile on my face.
Yeah.
And that's what I would do. Like every party, I would just be like, let me see if I can actually like
just do it
one more time. And then I'd have to go do it again. And there was just like the stresses of it. And it'd be like Saturday, Sunday. So it would take you out of commission of a lot of stuff that like, when people like Super Bowl or whatever.
You can't just like phone it in either. It's like a kid's birthday party. It's like their favorite entertainer.
And I did feel like, yeah, totally.
You're like, I can't fuck this up for him.
No. And I would, there are a lot of times where they'd be like, I would be hungover as fuck, or I'd be high, but I'd still be like, I'm going to do a good job.
Right.
But then like, there would be the ones like to your Easter Bunny story where like kids would be like, their goal would be to
ruin your life.
To prove that you were a man and not Spider-Man.
Right.
And that would be like their goal. And it would be like, my goal would be like, if that illusion's shattered, this is going to suck. And then it's going to be like, then they might complain about me or something like that. So the fight to keep the illusion that you are the real thing was constant. So that's why if you get like 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds, you'd be like, this is going to be sweet. But the second they started to get to 8 to 9, that's when you'd be
too
like,
big.
Yeah, they're starting to be like, I think there's a guy in the Scooby-Doo outfit. You'd be like, what are you talking about? You'd be like, stop trying to look through my eye holes.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but that was like it. It was stressful as fuck.
Oh my God. Well, that's our episode. It was so much fun. We covered so much.
We did. We talked about a bunch.
Where can people find you?
I'm here right now.
Do you have anything coming up you want to promote?
Go watch my special on YouTube. It's called England, Weed, and the Rest. It's fantastic.
Okay, we'll link to it.
So great.
Okay, cool.
And I really love it.
Well, then I'm sure everyone's going to love it too.
I just think it's going to be, I love the thing. And you can follow me on social media at Reynolds Gareth. And you can go to GarethReynolds.com. In March, I'll be touring all over in April and all that shit.
And then your podcast?
The Dollop is my podcast. Then we have another one called The Pastimes, which is kind of like a Dollop-ish podcast where we go through an old newspaper, which makes this, that's how I always pitch it. And it sounds really boring.
The Pastimes?
Yeah.
So you go through old newspapers? That's interesting. That's fun.
It's crazy. The old newspapers
the things that are in there?
It's totally insane.
Is that on iTunes? And
yeah, that's on the Dollop feed. So if you go to the Dollop feed, you can listen to the Pastimes, and it's
so you have 2 podcasts, same feed.
Yep.
Fun.
2 podcasts,
Awesome.
1 feed. Where can people find you?
You can find me at Princess Shank, and then here every Wednesday for Shank, and then every Monday for This Bitch podcast. And coming to San Diego March 19th, Mic Drop, co-headlining with Kim Congdon. More dates soon at Princess Shank. And I think I'm going to go back to Texas, so look out for that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.